people in Boston.
Tonight on a special primetime edition of Evening Magazine. Ever look at a road and wonder, where does it lead?
Amazing architecture is what we call it.
Many of these houses were built with seance rooms.
And you'll see the world's largest six-pack on your left-hand side.
Who lives along its path?
Should I call you madam?
Shut that off. I don't want that.
Kelly! What are their stories?
Look at the hair. I'm the Red Knight.
You've probably seen me on the Testicle Festival video.
Jamie Farr eats hot dogs.
And why not just drive?
Take care of yourself.
All the way.
Ready? Eyes on the road, eyes on the road, eyes on the
One end to the other.
I'm trying to figure out what that guy's doing.
My name is Jim, and this is the story of a road, a journey, a place called America. I-90, end to end. There it is, right behind me, the anchor end of I-90, the nation's longest interstate. It runs more than 3,000 miles from here at its start in the heart of Seattle, all the way to the middle of Boston, Massachusetts.
You know, the people in Boston might think that it starts in Boston.
They might think that, but
They'd
we're
have
from
a point.
Seattle, so it starts in Seattle. This would be a good time for me to introduce my friend Tom here behind the camera. Say hello, Tom.
How do you do?
Now, before Tom and I head out on this journey, we have to first pick out, of course, a hot set of wheels. Well, here I am at Great American RV in search of the vehicle of my dreams. Like that.
That's natural. I like it.
Way. That's easy. All right. Yep, everything seems to be in order.
Go ahead and check the muffler bearings while I'm here.
Yeah, they're there. Whoa! Ho-ho!
Not sure exactly what he's looking for under there.
I'm never sure what he's looking for.
You sure you want to go cross country with a guy like
I'm
this?
thinking long and hard about it.
I don't know if I can get back out.
Yep, just a regular vehicle with a family room and a kitchen.
You'll need to keep this on your head the entire time. This is a safety protection helmet required by all Great American RV rentals.
I see.
So I'll go ahead and install this now.
Okay, thank
And
you. And this wouldn't have anything to do with getting some cheap advertising, would it? Because you know I don't want to take part in anything like that.
potable means drinkable.
Got it. Thinks I'm an idiot. Which RV place are we in right now?
You'll also have access to power on this outside. If you were to watch TV, in your case, maybe a blow dryer. Anyway, outside power, as long as the generator's running or you had shore power.
Pay attention, somebody needs to.
I can see all the way to Fife.
We're in Fife.
Yeah, I can't see very far.
You won't need to use that. That's the drain for the freshwater tank.
Okay, wait, let me just check this over here.
Perfect. Got that operation handled. I think we can consider those tires kicked. This would be the bathroom.
Oh, hang on. There's a guy with a camera in the bathtub.
Yeah, a guy with a camera who can't seem to get any privacy.
I think this is kind of neat. The exits are clearly marked.
Boy, the material on these tires is getting a lot thinner than I remember. We'll edit that one out. Wasn't funny.
You have two different types of holding tanks. One is sewer water. This cap unscrews and comes off.
How? Oh my gosh. Okay, good. It's been nice doing business with you.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
Because at Great American RV, everything checks out A-OK. This looks like a happy little face here.
Doesn't it?
What?
This looks like a happy little face right here. It looks like a face. See, there's be like a combination nose-mouth.
I'm getting more and more nervous about this trip.
Let's set up a little lounge chair here. Just me and Mr. Happy.
Yeah, I think so.
Does I-90 go through Mississippi?
No, too bad, huh?
Jim, I want you to have a good trip. Drive safe.
Thank you, Randy. I look forward to my great American RV adventure.
No plug intended.
Can we stop shaking now?
Yeah, I think it's enough, yeah. So did you get any of that?
Not a clue.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Say when.
When?
You know, we want to thank our good friends over at, yeah, over there, at that RV place. Of course, we wouldn't want to give their name out over the air. That would be
Unethical.
yeah, that's what the word I was looking for. Plugola, unethical. Tom and I are eager to hit the road, but you know, before you take on any dubious pursuit of mythic proportion, you really want to have a major bon voyage party, don't you think? It's not just a road, it's a 3,107-mile long story waiting to be told. The Sneedle's here, the Sneedle's here. So it's time to head off in style. Tom stands ready, camera in hand.
Yep, that's me, locked in an RV with Jim for 2 weeks.
A proper send-off erupts. Well, sort of. We're joined by the Washington Potato mascot, an evil bird of prey,
Well, that's my job.
and Seattle Mayor Paul Schell.
It's elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist is what they taught me.
We're going to travel every inch of this concrete ribbon from Seattle to Boston to search out interstate adventure
That's ought to be interesting. I know that they started off with some sort of tea party in Boston.
and deliver a gift to the city at the other end of the freeway. Coffee to Boston, folks.
Coffee to Boston. You guys drive carefully. Thanks. Take care of yourself.
Bye now.
Everywhere we go, two fairly young and I might add very attractive guys alone together in a camper.
Oh yeah, they're gonna know we're television people.
Ahead of us, 13 states, home to more than 84 million people. We'll meet a few of them.
What's that smell?
I meant to tell you about that. When Evening Magazine's I-90 end-to-end continues,
They had a lot of timers. Peggy, for instance, really busy.
welcome back to our great America of two guys, 3,107 miles of open road. But you know, it's not just a story about the nation's longest interstate, I-90. It's really more a story about the people who live just off the exits. I-90 is the world's longest road without an intersection, but there are 515 exits. One of them leads to downtown Ellensburg.
There it is.
And Dick and Jane's Art Spot.
So here's the backyard, and there's Woody.
I like the way you designed the cat. Dick and Jane have gathered their own works of whimsy and pieces from 35 other artists to create Central Washington's most well-appointed yard. Where did that come from?
Came from a party, a rock festival,
Yeah, we had a rock festival.
where we celebrated rock.
Oh, it's a head.
Yeah, it's a Rich Beyer head.
One of the things that I'm trying to catch, and the yard does, is that transient, constant movement of life.
He made that nail piece over there. That's for all the negative energy to just go in there.
Oh, it gets sucked up by that.
Yeah. He did it at a time he was having a little problem with someone creating negative energy, so he dealt with it firmly by nailing all these spikes into a pole and solved the problem.
See, that's the difference between you and me. When I have a problem, I'll eat like a pint of Haagen-Dazs. Over the river and through the gorge is the only town in the nation bearing the full name of a president.
The town of George in the state of Washington.
Jeannie and Jeannie are two of George Washington's Georgettes, pie bacon party gals who build an 800-pound cherry pie every 4th of July. It looks considerably smaller on camera, and I cannot tell a lie.
On behalf of the citizens of George Washington,
We greedily accept Thank you.
yes,
Pie payola.
we'd like to present you with these cherry pies.
Welcome to Wallace, Idaho, prostitution capital of the Northwest. This is Tom, by
It's
the
my
way.
first time in a place like this.
Don't be rude behind the camera. Even though the town's last of many houses of ill repute supposedly shut down about 10 years ago, Michelle Mayfield still runs the Oasis Bordello. Should I call you madam? Only these days, the Oasis is a museum, sort of a tawdry time capsule.
This is just like it was left in 1988.
That's right. This place was closed down just a decade ago, with everything. Hey, Tom, I see your number up here. I mean everything.
Nowadays they have Viagra.
Left right in its place.
Dare I ask what that?
Don't ask. When Michelle and her husband bought the brothel a few years ago, clothing still hung from open drawers. Magazines lay strewn about. Even the price list remained taped to the wall.
They had a lot of timers. Peggy, for instance, was really busy. It took a long time to get rid of all those smells.
All right, okay. In its day, the Oasis was a well-respected business, even pitching in to buy uniforms for local school teams. You know, I would have expected something a little lacier. Now the Bordello stands as a smelly reminder of the days when bad music, bad art, and bad hair set the scene for some very bad behavior. You mind if I try on those shorts?
Yes.
Why
would you want to wear girls' shorts?
Well, come here, Michelle. I have some things to tell you about me. Before leaving Wallace, Idaho, we make a little pilgrimage to pay last respects to a piece of interstate history.
It was the last red light you'd encounter all the way from Boston, Massachusetts to Seattle, Washington on Interstate 90.
Back in 1991, the new elevated freeway made the traffic light obsolete. After a proper funeral, it ended up here at John Amundsen's Mining Museum.
I'll let you take care of it, unless you want me to be out back on camera.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Or you want me to get out of the picture for a second?
I'm just going to need a few seconds alone, if you don't mind.
Go right ahead.
Montana, a state that has built much of its image on the tasteless presentation of large animals. The Prairie Schooner Restaurant in Three Forks features a world-famous living sculpture dubbed New Faithful.
The Japanese tour buses, they're just nuts for it. We'll turn it on from the inside and they'll be shocked. It's cheap entertainment.
Montana's Rock Creek Lodge is home to the annual Testicle Festival, but the Rocky Mountain oysters are available year-round.
They're thin sliced, they're marinated in Rainier beer.
I think the person who eats them has to be marinated in beer as well.
You've probably seen me on the Testicle Festival video.
Oh, okay. You know, I haven't rented that one yet.
Heinz 57 sauce, A1 steak sauce, ranch dressing, anything to kind of cover up the idea that they're actually eating these things.
The kitchen manager, Kathy, wants to feed us some bowl.
Actually, a lot of people say they taste like chicken.
Why does everything offensive have to taste like chicken?
I know. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a little hot. Take a bite. Come on.
You know, to me, it tastes like a testicle.
Okay.
Okay, Tom's turn. Come on, man, you're next.
No.
Go ahead.
I like them. What do you think, Tom?
It tastes like chicken. Testicles. Okay, I get the top bunk.
Why did we eat that?
You're asking me? Good night.
Good night.
3 easy rules for healthy living. Stay out of public hot tubs.
Number 1.
Thank you, Tom. Don't rent any movies with the name Pauly Shore on the cover.
Would be number 2.
That is right. And do not eat testicles.
Ever. And for God's sake, don't do all 3 at once.
Yeah, watching the movie, yeah, I got it. Okay,
Hey, how about the guy that we almost got in a fight with?
Yeah, I was just going to talk about that.
At the bar.
Do you mind? Can I talk about it?
Let's just roll the tape.
So now you want to talk about taking 90, or otherwise you're going to be up in Buffalo if you take 90. You take that up from Cleveland. You're not going to take I-90 all the way to Boston.
Oh, yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am.
You want to bet?
I think I'm very close to getting into a bar fight. Somebody help me. Tom, let's go, let's go.
You want to bet?
Chicken.
He is so lucky.
Chicken.
He is so lucky I didn't decide to take him down.
Chicken.
He was a lot older than me. I let him off the hook this time.
Moving on.
And I also felt I had no backup behind the camera.
Yeah, because I'm carrying a big, expensive camera.
We'll talk about it during the break, and when we come back, a lot more fun on the way. Coming up.
Hey, that's a good idea. Corn Princess. We'll work on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first Corn Princess of Mitchell, South Dakota.
America's largest Madonna, a 90-foot statue called Our Lady of the Rockies, stands high above Butte, Montana's other man-made wonder, the Berkeley Pit.
Echo. Echo.
1.5 miles long, 1,800 feet deep, and a great place to meet women.
I meet women all over the place. You
Oh
wouldn't
yeah, I
believe it.
wouldn't doubt it.
This former copper mine is now like the Grand Canyon of toxic seepage. Beautiful to look at, but you know, they've actually hired people to scare birds away from the potentially lethal water? Anyone up for a swim? Poison pit or no poison pit, for me, Montana is one of the most beautiful and mystical places in the country. Well, now we head through the northeast corner of Wyoming and onto the state of South Dakota. It's a place where the rocks have faces, and if you listen closely enough, the wind will tell you stories from the past. Little Bighorn, where Lieutenant Colonel Custer died in his famous last stand against a warrior named Crazy Horse. But the white man would get his revenge. 1 year later, Crazy Horse was killed by a U.S. soldier under a flag of truce. Up the road a ways, in the hills near Mount Rushmore, Crazy Horse has been slowly coming back to life for more than 50 years. The widow of an artist named Korczak Julkowski recalls how he took to heart the plea of a Native American friend.
Will you carve us a mountain so the white men will know the red men had great heroes too?
Korczak and his wife Ruth raised 10 children here as the artist dedicated his life to carving and blasting the 563-foot mountain, piece by enormous piece.
The opening under Crazy Horse's arm down to the horse's neck will be big enough for a 10-story building to fit in.
The family continues the project, still working out of the home Korczak built with his own hands.
Jim, if you'll slide in.
Still dining at the table he made for 12.
The table alone would be my life's accomplishment.
Yeah, that's true.
Ruth and her family realized their dream could take centuries to complete. But they have made a vow to a man, to a mountain.
How many friends do you have who get up on Monday and say, oh, I wish it were Friday, and they just wish their lives away? And if you like what you do and your work, then you're going to be happy.
And you can carve mountains.
And you can carve mountains. You can do anything in this world you want to do if you're willing to work hard enough and pay the price. Nothing is impossible.
Want to talk about the impossible? Try taking 90 across South Dakota without seeing signs for a sort of tourist destination called Wall Drug.
Free ice water.
Kids love it.
Bouncy hunter. 6-foot rabbit.
Let's go find it.
I have to admit, a 6-foot rabbit, that's worth a look, right?
Excuse me, folks.
So we ask around.
Which side's the giant rabbit on? 6-foot rabbit.
The 6-foot rabbit, I'm not sure where that is.
That's about 6 feet over there, isn't it?
Well, at least 5'3". Kind of disappointing.
Goodbye, Wall Drug. So where are we now?
Belvedere, South Dakota. Did you ever watch that TV show, Mr. Belvedere? This is where he's from.
Hello? Anybody home?
Just outside the vacation mecca of Belvedere stands 1880 Town.
Hi, I'm Jim. This is Tom over here behind the camera.
The town was all Clarence Hullinger's idea. He hauled in a bunch of abandoned buildings and made himself an old western town, a lot like the one he grew up in.
Is there a building here that would be your sentimental favorite?
Yeah, I can sure take you and see it.
This little shack was Clarence's home away from home while attending high school, far from the family farm.
My dad built that in 1929.
Do you think maybe in a way, Clarence, you're sort of rebuilding your childhood with this town?
No, not really. I'm in for money.
Ah, a man with a dream of dollar signs.
Forget childhood, I want the bucks.
Mitchell, South Dakota, home of the world's only Corn Palace, a building decorated each year with 3,000 bushels of the miracle crop.
Amazing architecture is what we call it.
Chris Stewart from the Chamber of Commerce says Mitchell built its first Corn Palace back in 1892 to lure settlers to the area. Local volunteers changed the design every summer.
Is there a corn princess of any sort?
No, we don't have any kind of a corn princess.
A corn palace with no corn princess? We demand to see Mayor Alice Claggett, who embraces our concern and just about everything else.
Tom, hi.
Can you tell me why there is no corn princess in Mitchell?
I think we should work on that.
I do
I
too.
really do. I really think that, hey, that's a good idea. Corn princess.
That's all the encouragement we need. So, the search is on for a princess worthy of the palace.
I got a grandson. You want a king?
We'll think about it.
I would nominate these two.
After an extensive preliminary round,
How many fingers am I holding up?
2.
Kelly and Lori are selected as finalists.
The first corn princess, the light went off. This is, look, I'm trying to do a professional job here.
Sorry.
And the light, these things happen. It's live television, you understand.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first corn princess of Mitchell, South Dakota, Kelly!
Ah, Jim, I think we made her cry. So how do you think Kelly felt about that whole thing?
I think she was thrilled. Don't you?
I think she was thrilled that we left.
In Minnesota, Interstate 90 is the road to Spam, the factory, and the museum.
We're very protective of our logo and our brand mark.
Paulette Cummings from Hormel, the company that makes Spam, can tell you everything you ever wanted to know about the luncheon meat with the indefinite shelf life.
We even have a letter over there from General Eisenhower saying how Spam saved the American forces, you know.
Here you can marvel at the wonder of Spam pizza, smoked Spam, even Spam and tongue. The only thing you can't see is exactly how the stuff is made.
Very top secret.
Because if the Russians got a hold of it, we'd all be in trouble.
That's right. Certainly would.
It may already be too late.
Well, I'm hungry.
Me too. What would you like to get?
I'm thinking about a taco. Mexican.
Excellent idea.
Lots more on the way, including...
You can shut that off. I don't want that.
I know it's $20, but I'm going to give myself a little discount there.
Can you point that away from my eyes?
Hi folks, Tom here with a look behind the scenes. How do we get the lovely shots of our rake moseying on down the road? Well, it's simple. We pick a spot, Jim drops me off, and I shoot him, driving away. Then I run up the road to catch him. Okay, I got the shot. Don't leave me behind.
Bye now.
Hey. Oh, sure, we make a few creative U-turns now and then. Probably more appropriate for a Miata than an RV. Here, Jim leaves me and finds not only a toll booth around the bend, but an empty wallet as well.
I'm stuck at the toll booth. I don't have any money.
Good thing my wallet's in the RV.
Okay.
Too bad, though, I can't tell him.
You're breaking. Please, I can't.
Since we're just slightly out of radio range.
Nice move.
Next time, make sure I have some money.
Interesting what I find while I wait on the side of the road. I'm guessing that's not Mountain Dew. Well, back to the show. I'll leave you with the sound of my sunglasses being blown off as I hang out the window to get this shot. Huh? Well, those things are toast.
Thank you, Tom, for that most illuminating report.
My pleasure.
And remember, folks, another little health tip, stay away from that roadside Mountain Dew. Now, if you think that getting those shots Tom was talking about is the toughest part of this most grueling journey, think again. The toughest part is living in an RV with Tom for 10 days.
What?
This little confined space from which there is no escape.
Underwear every 3 days.
Our little secret? Quiet, please. Watch this. It's all about life in an RV.
A few simple rules about living in an RV. Number 1. Don't leave your stuff laying around.
We're hitting a rough patch.
In fact, tie down anything you don't want to lose. For us, that includes 1 order of curly fries, 1 serving of ketchup, and, sadly,
1 cherry pie. All over my equipment.
You gotta try some, seriously. Rule number 2.
Good morning.
Be prepared to get on each other's nerves.
Rise and join. It's time for breakfast.
Rule number 3, bring plenty of gas money and a little patience.
Jim gets his exercise while we gas up the RV.
Rule number 4, keep batteries charged.
Switch over to internal power complete.
Tanks full.
I guess that's full.
Sewage empty.
Shouldn't have eaten first.
And rule number 5, watch your head. Despite the close quarters, life in a camper is a life of freedom. See a place you like, pull over and call it home. One day we're living in the midst of nature's grandeur. The next, we awake in the shadow of an off-season water slide between a bunch of dry-docked boats, next to the Jellystone Park that wouldn't let us in when we arrived too late the night before. Just be warned, sometimes the official campsites are the last places on Earth you want to stay. Now, this RV park allows no butts on their beach, but apparently has no policy against butt heads in Jeeps at 2:30 in the morning.
Who is
this psycho?
The harassment continues for hours, keeping us awake much of the night. The park manager fails to see how it's any of his concern.
There's no way I can, in good conscience, pay for my sleep.
Shut that off. I don't want that on.
Yeah, shut that off.
Wish he would have shown a little bit of this concern last night.
I know it's $20, but if you don't mind, I'm going to give myself a little discount there.
Can you point that away from my eyes?
Oh, you left the light on.
Turn the light off. Sorry.
Didn't want him to hurt me.
But you know, all in all, life is good. Life is free. Except for that pesky gas money. When you're living life on wheels. Here's what's up when we come back.
Dusty licorice stick peaches. Whoa. Did you hear it? I think it's a bat.
Here's a few odds and ends Jim and I rescued from the cutting room floor. For example, at Wall Drug, it appears they have a hair care section for owl and bobcat. Buildings in the shape of headwear always get our attention. We found the only flag in the Union that isn't a rectangle is the Ohio state flag. Watch now as we test the flame retardant qualities of our fabulous RV.
We're going in.
Check out this sign. You gotta love the acronym. Well, you sure can't tell we're not in Bellevue anymore. Now, here's an appropriate sign for a cigarette superstore. And here at the Wisconsin State Visitor Center, they've listed the many recreational possibilities on tap for the weekend. Well, at least they make pretty good cheese.
As we continue our journey from Seattle to Boston on I-90,
The nation's longest uninterrupted length of roadway with no stop lights or stop signs.
okay, we're about halfway now, heading into the great dairy state of Wisconsin. Ooh.
Did I tell you I'm lactose intolerant? You'll find that out, for sure.
Wisconsin, land of beer.
As you go downtown, you go right past the brewery and you'll see the world's largest six-pack on your left-hand side.
Lots of beer.
You'll notice this is a regular six-pack of beer, and this is the world's largest six-pack of beer. And once again, a regular six-pack of beer and the world's largest six-pack of beer.
What?
Turn the camera.
What? Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Go, Tom, go! I'd feel a lot more comfortable if you just put the camera down.
Wisconsin, land of cheese. Lots of cheese. Hill and Valley Cheese processes more than 120,000 pounds of milk into cheese every day. All of it, I might add, is 100% hair-free.
You gotta wear the hairnet.
No.
Looks good on you. It looks really good.
Wisconsin, land of robots.
Your eyes put the image into photograph memory.
Our guide, Dusty, shows us plenty of bizarre optical illusions, including a room of mirrors where nothing is quite as it seems.
This is really disorienting.
Jim.
Still doing all right, right?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. Piece of cake.
Who farted? I did. Tom, you got any idea where you're going? Because I think you're doing the driving, because he doesn't look too well. Some people do this from time to time.
This is also the home of an authentic Mir space station.
We're floating.
Chicago. And we have the perfect plan for passing time in I-90's notorious rush hour traffic.
A little wave. I'm trying to figure out what that guy's doing.
Just off the interstate, over yonder, hark! 'Tis medieval times.
Don't look so happy. You're about to eat medieval food.
A combination restaurant and history lesson of an era when men apparently fought hand-to-hand, aided only by computer-controlled lighting and a truly rockin' sound system. So anyway, I'm drawn into the battle to defend my honor, of course.
Good luck, Jim!
Forced to go clash with this guy who's wielding deadly weapons and trying to kill me and acting all, you know, barbaric. So I vanquish the guy.
I give you your champion, the Red Nine!
Crowd rises, King hails me, and I'm thinking, we want to make Cleveland by sunset. Gotta go. Okay, all right. Hang on a second.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
In the interest of full disclosure, I guess I got to tell you that we sort of, well, we staged that whole fight thing.
Knights at the ready. Charge.
That's my cue.
That's your cue.
I mean, the truth is, I can barely even ride a horse.
I think we're probably past the point of turning back, so we're going to have to hope for the best on this one.
In fact,
here you go, sire.
I'm kind of afraid of the foul and unpleasant creatures.
How do I hold my reins?
And as for the battle scene, well,
ready?
See, that was carefully orchestrated, shot for shot, while the real Red Knight graciously stepped aside.
I'm the Red Knight. I'm the Red Knight. Look at the hair. I'm the Red Knight. Oh, God. This place.
We left this shot out completely.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, kick.
Overacting.
Okay, go ahead, do that again. That's great.
So you see, it was all just a big put on. Feel terrible about it, but what can you do? Back to the trip. Why don't we make a joke about Indiana?
Home of Dan Quayle.
He's running for president, you know.
Then there's the joke.
Indiana passes as it should.
Don't they have laws against things like that?
Quickly.
Wow. Look at all these churches. Holy.
Then Holy Toledo, it's Toledo, the hometown of actor Jamie Farr from MASH. We check around to see if anyone's heard from him lately.
He hangs out at Tony Packo's.
Thank you very much. Yeah, here it is. Tony Packo's.
Turns out this restaurant is a magnet for all the biggies, including Jamie Farr, who unfortunately is out of town.
If it's not too personal a question, can I ask you what Jamie Farr eats when he's here?
Jamie Farr eats hot dogs.
Tony Packo Jr. sends us on our way with a dozen of Mr. Farr's favorites.
And a whole box of sauce and pickles. You should sit down and have a hot dog with us.
Oh, thanks very much, but I'll let you guys eat. Well, I'm not supposed to eat that because that's high and saturated.
Oh, really?
Well, this is pretty terrific. Why don't you come and eat sometime before it gets any colder?
On we drive, way, way into the night. Erie, Pennsylvania, and a pet cemetery rumored to be the final resting place of Ronald Reagan's old co-star, Bonzo the Chimp.
Dusty, licorice stick, peaches. Whoa. Did you hear it? I think it's a bat.
It's not a bat.
I think it's just a bird.
God, it's like a Hitchcock film. Get me out of here.
Well, let's find Bonzo and call it a night, huh?
All right. Hold your horses.
Well, you're the one that's scared of the bats.
They are bats, then.
They're birds. They're birds.
No, I caught you.
After a long, cold search, the little primates in the spotlight
one more time. Good God Almighty, it's bedtime for Bonzo. There you go, little guy. Eat it in good health.
Night, Bonzo. You know, how do you know that was Bonzo's grave?
Because it was the biggest.
Yeah, but it didn't say Bonzo or anything, did it?
No, but it was big and, you know.
Are you sure that was his grave?
Ornate and, well. Coming up when I-90 end-to-end continues.
Okay, ready?
No.
Eyes on the road, eyes on the road, eyes on the road, eyes on the road. Thanks for showing us our way around the bordello.
Well, thank you for coming back to see us, and I hope you come back again.
You want to know what's really eerie about Erie, Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Nice enthusiasm. We are very close to a small town called Northeast Pennsylvania that is actually in the extreme northwest corner of the state.
Whoa.
That was better. Which can mean only one thing. We're headed into some strange territory.
After leaving Erie, Pennsylvania, final resting place of Bonzo the chimp, I have this nagging feeling that something's not quite right. A suspicion confirmed by that pet cemetery's owner, who tells me that I left a banana on the gravesite of a dog named Boober. Oh well, it's the thought that counts. Interstate 90 will teach you plenty about New York State.
A state of being.
For instance, have you ever heard of Lilydale?
Many of these houses were built with seance rooms.
It's the world's largest community of people like Tom and Ellie McCabe Cratsley, who call themselves spiritualists. People with a sort of hotline connection to the deceased.
That spirit's always there, you know, to help them through those tough times.
Some spiritualists, like Ellie, talk to the dead for a living. Her husband Tom, on the other hand, channels their energy for healing purposes.
I've seen some amazing things. Now, I've seen people go from, you know, while working on them, I've seen them go from, you know, a withered arm to, like, straighten it up.
Ellie also has the ability to size a person up based on their horoscope.
But you do look like a Leo.
It's just uncanny how her readings are so incredibly...
They like to be on camera.
Unflattering. It's a gift, really.
You know this man.
Yeah, they like to be, you know, center of attention type of thing.
One of the highlights of Lilydale is the town's energy center.
This is the inspiration stump.
The concrete capped remains of an old tree.
Nothing's going to happen to you. We're not going to be blasted.
Blasted to another dimension?
No. Some people are sensitive. They can feel an energy change if you open yourself to it.
Maybe I wasn't concentrating hard enough.
About halfway through the state of New York, boredom sets in, and it seems like a perfectly good idea to post our happy little sign again. Then it seems like another perfectly good idea to pop into the quaint and charming town of Syracuse.
It's probably a good idea, since we're gonna, you know, drive it, to get down.
Funny how a perfectly good idea loses its luster when you're face to face with a guy in his boxers.
Hey, who's got our sign?
Turns out Syracuse is hands down, and pants down, college town party capital of the world.
Okay, ready? Eyes on the road, eyes on the road, eyes on the road, eyes on the road.
The next day, it's onward and eastward to the tiny town of Valacia,
Mayor's office.
home of the nation's youngest
going on,
mayor,
Linda?
19-year-old Jason Nastke.
20 homes is $2 million.
Now, Jason ran for mayor because he didn't like the stench of local politics.
We had a little incident here, and it ended that night with the board member being thrown through the window.
Oh, very nice.
So, with that, I decided to run for mayor.
Voters agreed and sent the kid to City Hall.
Did you always want to be a politician?
No, not at all. No. You know, I got involved because I wanted to get involved. I got involved because, you know, I thought I could do some good, make some changes. That's why I got involved.
Now the teen goes from storefront ceremony
You're doing it wrong. Pull it tighter.
to sidewalk acrimony.
And it hasn't been raised since 1995.
How do you justify
And it's
that?
the lowest paying
How do you justify
mayor.
Just like a seasoned pro.
I don't feel there's a generational gap. I mean, I get along with everybody and anybody. How you doing?
I am so proud of you.
Not only that, but being the boss also makes him the town's most eligible bachelor.
I think the mayor's blushing.
Mayor never blushes.
Not long after crossing our very last state line, we make a quick stop just outside Boston, 26.2 miles outside to be exact, at the starting line for the world-famous Boston Marathon. And it's the perfect place to finally get a nice shot of Tom.
Here, let me get you in there. Oh, you've actually run the Boston Marathon.
Poor guy, he's had to toil away in obscurity behind the camera.
Okay, wait, smile.
I'd really just like him to get out in front and get his fair share of recognition.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. I like this shot.
Are you sure you've got enough headroom?
Oh, yeah.
Did you tell
Here,
that
let
one?
me just go up a little. Okay. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna love this. Okay.
Great. Thanks.
You bet.
On to Boston.
Let's go.
It's just a short drive down the last stretch of I-90 and into the heart of our destination city. This old interstate has carried us more than 3,000 miles, bringing us face to face with plenty of new friends. Oh yeah, and that guy.
Can you point that away from my eyes?
Hate to say it, but
The end. High five.
there's just one last thing.
City Hall.
Hi, the mayor's office, please.
Remember that coffee Mayor Shell gave us back in Seattle?
I'm wondering if there's any way I could get it to the mayor of Boston.
Well.
Let's go. Mayor Menino, it's a little worse for the wear, but I can assure you it's rich, full body flavor will still satisfy cup after cup.
So, it's mission accomplished. We've driven the concrete ribbon from one end to the other. Now we just have to turn around and do it again.
Here we go.
For more information on anything you saw in tonight's show, call the Evening Magazine hotline at 206-448-3505 or visit our homepage on the World Wide Web at www.king5.com.